It is my honor to introduce Senator Jeff Merkley. Senator Merkley represents Oregon in the U.S. Senate as part of the Appropriations Committee on the Budget, Committee on Foreign Relations, Committee on Environment and Public Works, and the Committee on Rules and Administration. Senator Merkley co-sponsored the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act of 2025. He has publicly condemned anti-Semitic rhetoric, stating, "I will unequivocally condemn any anti-Semitic language and sentiments." I welcome Senator Jeff Merkley.
Well, thank you all so much for inviting me to join you at this celebration of Jewish American Heritage Month, and in particular, congratulations to Joe. Your business success is matched by your generosity and caring, and I noted sometimes we're characterized by our children best, your daughter saying, when someone falls down, he wants to pick them up. And isn't that a great way to live life, helping to pick people up during hard times? So thank you, and congratulations for this honor. Now, I was thinking about in 1978 when I was in college and I went to Israel. And at that point, you could actually hitchhike, and I hitchhiked around. I climbed Masada, I went through Hezekiah's tunnel, I was invited to kibbutz. It was an incredible moment when the country was going through anticipation of the deal with Egypt to return the Sinai. And it was a sense of, if we can make peace with Egypt, we can make peace with everyone. But that visit made me think about the connection of all these faiths centered in such a small area, and how sometimes, despite their divisions, they collaborate. Sometimes, despite their differences, they find connections. And I was thinking about those connections a few years later. I was working for the Secretary of Defense and assigned to Brussels, and I took a weekend to travel to Germany. My grandmother had put together an ancestry that had 12 generations, 6 in America and 6 in Europe, and most of the places were still walled off because East Germany was still separated. But there was one town that wasn't walled off, Durlach, and it was somewhere around 10 generations back. And so I went to the town, and I'd taken the day off to drive from Brussels to Durlach. I encountered a policeman on the street, and I said, "Where can I find the town birth records? I'd really like to find my ancestors." And he said, "Well, were your ancestors Catholic or Protestant or Jewish?" I thought, what a fascinating question. 10 generations back, the far side of the Atlantic. I mean, my immediate family ancestors were frontiersmen and homesteaders. They lost every connection to that world overseas. And I thought, yes, I could be Jewish, or my ancestors could be Catholic, could be Protestant. And he proceeded to tell me how in different wars, different records had been destroyed for all three faiths, and said the one thing I could do was to go to the town cemetery and wander through the gravestones, and which I did. I did not find any Merkels. Merkel, the same family name that Chancellor Merkel had. But I thought again about the connectedness of the mystery of life, in which so often there's instincts to separate people, and our response should be try to connect people. And certainly that means every time we encounter any form of bigotry, any form of discrimination, any form of ethnic attacks, religious attacks, we all have a duty to say, no, absolutely not. We're all connected in our very humanness of our hearts. And we see right now in America such an explosion of separation. And so I think it's important to celebrate each tradition. And so I'm pleased to be here celebrating Jewish heritage tradition as part of the rich fabric of America. And particularly, I've appreciated the phrase Tikkun Olam, the phrase variously translated repairing the world, healing the world. I was asked at a gathering a couple years ago, which was a gathering of programs that help facilitate going from high school to college for people who have never come from families that had been to college, and I'm the first in my family to go to college. So they'd asked me to come to speak. And I was asked by one of the students, do you have a mantra? And I thought, mantra? Interesting question. I said, I don't have a mantra, but I do have kind of a slogan. And I put it onto cups that I give as gifts to my staff and to others. And the slogan was, never stop fighting to build a better world. Well, that was my instinctual representation of that same concept, that we are here, let's dedicate our efforts to repairing the world, to healing the world, to connecting between traditions, to put down hate, and promote a very human instincts. As Joe's daughter said, when someone falls down, let's lift them up. Thank you all very much.